My name's Ronnie Fike. My dad was Roy Leon Fike. I never knew him. He was killed in World War II on Christmas Day. And he left for the service the day after my brother was born. And this is the greatest honor we could think of, to be into the Ring of Honor.
My dad was Lou Breitbach, coach at East Waterloo. This honor tonight, being inducted into the Football Hall of Fame, to him being humble as he was, would be all about his teams. Each and every team member meant a lot to him, no matter how good and notorious they were, or the newest kid on the squad. As long as they worked hard, were motivated, and he wanted to let all of his team members know he thanked them for being so coachable in his time.
Man, it's a tremendous honor to be kind of held up there with these elite, high-level football players coming out of East Waterloo. It's a huge honor to me. I was a little bit surprised in being inducted. I'm very appreciative, but knowing that those guys from East Waterloo, those high-level guys, it's just an honor to be grouped in that with those guys.
Man, it means everything, man. It's just a dream come true. I've really been waiting on this for a long time, so I'm just excited.
It's a huge deal. I remember sitting here as a high school football player, because we were forced to kind of sit through these things, and you kind of grew to love it and see the old heads out here get inducted. And I was hoping one day I'd get inducted here too, but this is a lot sooner than I could ever imagine.
Honestly, when Director Tim Moses called me, I was at work, I cried. I believe I was a decent athlete in high school. All right, I was an okay athlete in high school. It means a lot. I guess it hit me more. This is part of my, I would say, part of my legacy. My father graduated from East High several years ago, and he's no longer here. To be inducted to this family, I wish they were here to see it. Like I said, it's a legacy to what I contribute to this high school.
Memory I have of my dad, I would go with him to the games over at Sloan Wallace, dear old Sloan Wallace, and he would tell me to meet him at the ticket office after the game, since we couldn't go into the locker room, of course. So I went over to the ticket office and waited and waited and waited. When I got home that night, my mother said, "Well, where's Mary Lou?" "Oh," he said, "I forgot her over at Sloan Wallace." So back across the river he went, and there I was standing at the ticket office at midnight at Sloan Wallace.
My senior year, Coach Jones came to me about 5 or 6 games in and kind of let me know that I was approaching Brian Payne's and Jamel Rowe's tackle record or tackle numbers. Kind of got me jazzed up and ready to go. I wouldn't say I did anything different those last couple games. Unfortunately that year we missed the playoffs. We ended 5-4, but I was able to secure that single season tackle record, and I believe I still hold it. So that's one memory that sticks with me, and I wouldn't be able to do that without my coaches and teammates that year. So
my favorite one is breaking the losing streak. Breaking the losing streak, running down the field, scoring that touchdown to break the losing streak. So it was 2007. The losing streak been going on for 20 plus years. And we finally did it, man. I scored the game-winning touchdown. I think it was 81 yards, something like that. It was pretty crazy.
Favorite memory from playing days, I'd have to throw it back to my freshman year. Played on the sophomore team, and we beat West on the last seconds, on the last second touchdown. And that was my only win in high school, but it counted.
The one that sticks out the most was senior year. Iowa City High, big game, because it was Iowa City High at the time. I ended up busting my 2 front teeth out. I ended up hitting the quarterback so hard that I bit through my mouthpiece. In the meantime, my best friend, who was also the other outside linebacker, got the interception. I don't believe he ran it back for a touchdown, but I guess that always stick in my mind because I got my two of our team knocked out, and it was the coldest day ever, and obviously my nerves were exposed. I didn't know what was going on. The crowd was cheering. I thought I had a sack, but unfortunately my best friend got the interception. But I would say I don't say it's my favorite, but that's when it sticks out the most in my mind. So, and also beating Cedar Falls in the Dome.
Welcome to the 2021 East High School Ring of Honor football ceremony. I am Tim Moses, Director of Athletics here at East High School. Thank you to the Ring of Honor Committee for all your hard work in organizing this amazing ceremony. Special thank you to Charlie Aldridge, Mike Allen, and Mr. Mike Sheely. Also a special thank you to Hope from Texas Roadhouse for catering this event, and also to my football players who were also helping out in catering and serving food. Also thank you to the Waterloo Community School District Superintendent Dr. Jane Lindeman, Human Resource Director Kingsley Botchway II, and our District Athletic Director, Mr. Dan Huff. I would like to congratulate the honorees of 2021, the honorees of past years, and to the honorees yet to come. As you all know, East High has a strong and rich tradition of football throughout the state of Iowa. Here's just a few small examples of the East High football tradition. 6 years of undefeated seasons, also known as the streak. 6 state championship titles. Numerous conference championships. 7 All-Americans, and over 100 All-State football players. Numerous NCAA Division football players, 3 former NFL football players as well. With that being said, it is an absolute honor to be a member of this Ring of Honor and this great collection of athletes from Waterloo East High School. At this time, I would like to turn it over to the principal of Waterloo East High School, Mr. Joe Parker.
Thank you, Mr. Moses, and I would also like to thank you for helping to put this ceremony together. I definitely want to make sure we welcome everyone here to East High, and it's a homecoming for all of you because all of you walked these halls and were part of everything that we've been doing, that we do now each day. And it's great being part of this organization. I want to make sure that I am, along with Mr. Moses, as supportive as possible for this. As a former athlete, it's important to me that we recognize and honor the work that you guys have done in your past and while you've been, and while you were playing football for East High. And the great thing for me as being part of this is when everybody comes and getting to hear the stories for all the things that you guys did as I get to talk to you guys. You know, that is like amazing. It helps me feel connected, and just hearing all the things that you did as a former athlete, it kind of warms my heart to be part of that again, because, you know, I was a football, like I said the last time, I was a lineman, and nobody could probably tell by now, maybe a little bit more. But being able to, you know, connect with some of the things that you guys have done, maybe not with the success that you guys have did, it has been great. So I definitely want to welcome and thank all of you for coming back and being part of this ceremony. And I definitely want to not keep our master of ceremony waiting too much longer. So I do want to make sure I introduce our former starting tight end on East's 1970 state championship team. He was an all-conference football selection at the University of Northern Iowa, and he taught and coached for 41 years in the Waterloo School District and spent 18 years coaching football at East High School. He has been instrumental in starting and continuing the East High School Football Ring of Honor, and himself was a 2009 inductee. Please welcome, everyone, Mr. Charlie Aldridge.
Thank you. Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome, welcome, and I mean welcome to this, our 17th Ring of Honor ceremony. Wow. I mean, what other school recognizes, remembers, acknowledges the rich history, heritage, and tradition of football like we do at East Waterloo High School? We're very happy that we're going to do this live this year and that we have a nice audience. So again, welcome, welcome, welcome. We need to single out several people and groups for their continued support for this special event. First of all, Mr. Parker, the principal of East High School, for his continued support in making this event a success. It's kind of hard to run an event like this if you don't have the support of the principal. And he has been a supporter of ours from day one. So thank you, Mr. Parker. Thank you, Athletic Director and Ring of Honor member Tim Moses, for helping set up with all the little details that you may not see. And we sure appreciate him getting that taken care of. We have a huge, huge thank you to the Alumni Golf Committee that helps us each year financially in participating and purchasing these Ring of Honor polos, the plaques, the certificates, and frames. And for those of you who play in the golf outing know where part of this money goes. Also, like to thank our downtown personnel, Tina Rowe, who typed and got printed up the pamphlets, Jason DeWitt right back there for videotaping our ceremony. For anybody who's out of town, out of state, who could not be here today, can see this on cable or YouTube. And of course, Katrina Heeman, who has been with us 16 of the 17 years, sending out the press releases, alerting the media, and she's our #1 supporter. And like Tim said, thank you to Texas Roadhouse, East High's partner in education, Melissa Pullen and their staff for providing the food, the helpers over there. You know, and I tell you, we've had some good food in the past. We really have had some real good food in the past. But I guess when the word got out that this distinguished class is coming up, they raised the level up to where we're going to have some good food. So thank you to help us get the kind of food we got. I'd like to also recognize in the audience any other former East High football players who maybe played for the Orange and Black. They might be here tonight. Do we have any former East High football players in the stands? Would you please stand up? Anybody? Stand up, please. Former East High football players. Thank you. He was here a little earlier, but we'd like to wish head coach Regis Baskerville and his staff and the 2021 football team the best of luck tomorrow night in their game at home against Waverly Shell Rock. And on their convincing homecoming win last Friday night over an apparently chirpy and very chatty North Des Moines. And that was until Craig Willingham tattooed their star running back and had him limping over to the sideline, and they weren't too chirpy and chatty after that. So we hope that continues for the East High football players. At this time, I'd like to read our Ring of Honor mission statement, which has not really changed or been altered in the last 17 years. Still holds true today. The Ring of Honor has been established to recognize former outstanding East High football players and coaches who excelled during their playing career at East High School. This select group of former Trojans will have made major contributions to the success of East High School football and brought positive recognition to the program from their outstanding achievements on the gridiron for the Orange and Black. The inductees were selected by present and past Ring of Honor members. The common denominator for the Ring of Honor is knowing that regardless of the year you played on or the achievements of the team you played on, they share an equal status. Once identified, all Ring of Honor inductees attain a lifetime membership. Each member never graduates, never goes on the injury reserve list, is always eligible, never moves out of the districts, and never transfers. This is one of the highest honors a football player at East High School can attain. Established in 2005, 115 members have been inducted so far, and with tonight's 7 new inductees, we are proud to announce a grand total of 122 and counting. You know, as they tear down old Sloan Wallace Stadium, you know, we don't want to forget the great memories or the great games there at that time. So let's take a moment of silence to remember the 32 Ring of Honor members who are no longer with us today, that we don't want to forget their memories either. Carl Anderson, Craig Atkins, Fred Becker, Carlisle Bixby, Frank Bloomquist, Don Buck, Don Buzzard, Virgil Carr, William Big Sun Flowers, Tony Green, Tracy Greer, Coach Don Hanson, Mike Hewitt, John Hollingsworth, Manny Holmes, Emmett Hoosman, Brian Jones, Coach Larry Jones, Coach Ron Johnson, Joe McCraney, Pete Middleton Sr., Norm Montgomery, Jerry Moses, Coach Leonard Raffensberger, Walter Reed, Reggie Roby, Pete Ross, Eugene Stevens, Coach Roger Stevens, John Tidor, Coach Howard Vernon, and Coach John Wagner. Thank you. And now let's recognize and acknowledge our Ring of Honor members in attendance here today. Due to the COVID last year, we were unavailable to have a live ceremony, and we had to do it virtual. And these 2020 inductees didn't get a chance to be honored in a public ceremony that we've had in the past. So we'd like to do so at this time. Running back Alan Jones could not make it. He was inducted from California. Defensive back Ryan Sadler had a commitment in Davenport, could not be here tonight. But 2020 inductees here tonight is quarterback Gabe Benson, defensive lineman, stand up Gabe, George Cole, and defensive lineman Curtis Wilkes, 2020 inductees. Thank you. And now our current members here today, starting with our phenomenal, outstanding coaches. 2011 inductee Marv DeWard. 2013 inductee Roger Kettleson. 2007 inductee Mike Sheely. 2009 inductee Larry Van Ort. Let us meet the players that are here, starting with our lineman, Michael Allen. Mike was 2005, 2015 inductee Steve Elfritz. I forgot to tell you, the camera's right over there, so you want to stand and make sure you wave, because you're going to be on TV and tape, okay? Mike, I can't believe you missed that. Okay. 2005 inductee Sean Hewitt. 2014 inductee Jeremy Jones. 2007 inductee Larry Teese. 2008 inductee Tom Thorson. 2010 inductee Ron Turner. Our linebacker, representing them all, 2008 inductee Jamil Roll. Our defensive backs, 2010 inductee Dave Magnuson. As previously mentioned, 2011 inductee Tim Moses. 2016 inductee Jeff Smith. Our offensive ends, 2012 inductee Mike Watkins. Our quarterbacks, 2013 inductee Craig Carper. 2007 inductee John Dunn. And our running backs, 2018 inductee Billy Ray Jones. 2006 inductee Darnell Jones. And 2005 inductee Neil Moses. You know, what we have here, right now, is the greatest collection of football players in the state of Iowa in one place at one time for one event. Ladies and gentlemen, the East High Football Ring of Honor. And now, let's meet our 2021 inductees. You know, as you listen to this, the common theme, which you will pick up, is the inductees have great family connections to East High School, and they also have how they have persevered at and after East High School. I see Lance just rolled in. Ladies and gentlemen, Lance Dunn. So now, let's meet our 2021 inductees, starting with our Coaches Award with Lou Breitbach. Lou Breitbach graduated from Iowa State Teachers College, where he played end and halfback for the 1937-38 Panther football team. He earned his Bachelor of Science degree and had many teaching and coaching assignments in Iowa and Illinois before coming to East High School in 1952. He utilized his football knowledge he learned from Buck Starbuck, his mentor at Iowa State Teachers College. That was a system based on speed, power, and lots of deception. East finished second in the conference in his first year at East. In 1953, his second season at East, the Trojans compiled an 8-1 record and was voted number 2 ranked team in the state behind Iowa City High, who gave East their only loss that season. Lou had great coaching knowledge, relying on discipline, preparation, execution. His 1953 team consisted of players such as Frank Bloomquist, who went on to become an All-American at Iowa and a Ring of Honor member. All-Stater Don Buck, who played at Iowa State Teachers College, who was a Ring of Honor member. Also, Bob Beard, who started at Iowa State, and John Carr, considered the top running back in the state. Lou Breitbach was respected not only by his players and students, fellow educators, but also many coaches throughout the state of Iowa. He retired in 1981 after 33 years in education. And I know Mike Sheely has often said that he would come back to East and visit with him in the guidance office. And unbelievably, Sheely keeps this stuff, but he gave him an old kind of playbook of what he did at that time and kind of gave it to Mike, and Mike never gave it to Coach Kettleson. He didn't want to go through that stuff. His son, Joe, was an outstanding wrestler at East and a 1967 graduate. and accepting on his behalf is his daughter, Mary Lou Breitbach, a 1964 graduate. The East High Football Hall of Fame is proud to welcome into the Ring of Honor 2021 inductee, Coach Lou Breitbach.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Well, here we are. Thank you so much. Yes, my name is Mary Lou Breitbach. I'm the only daughter of Coach Breitbach, and I had 4 wonderful brothers. Over here we have Brother Joe, his son, and his daughter-in-law. Over here we have Lou's daughter-in-law, her son, her daughter, and a grandson. We're honored as a family to accept this fantastic award. Lou loved East High. We all loved East High. I want to thank Charlie, Mike Allen, Larry Salas, and the committee for making this such an honorable, great event and a tradition that needs to go on and on and on. Yes, Lou learned his football under Buck Starbeck, and what a time they had, 1937, 1938. Dad's first assignment as teacher and coach was at Baxter, Iowa. He came to East High in 1952. His teams in 3 years won 18 games, 8 losses, and 1 tie, hitting a peak of 8-1 record in the Big Six Conference Championship in 1953. They won the city championship in 52 and 53. And now, Sloan Wallace is gone, but the memories aren't. Lou believed in several things. Number 1 was hard work for everyone. Didn't matter how big or small you were, it was who could get the job done best. He also believed that kids need to be encouraged for excelling and not punished for failing. Teamwork was everything, and it always pays off. The benefits of tough discipline are the joy of winning and the lessons of defeat. Sportsmanship was taught in the home. If you can survive the 3rd day of practice in the fall, you'll make it. Dad's formal statement when he left East High, he didn't go on to another coaching position. He went into sales again. He loved his students and he loved his kids, but he also loved sales. Here's his formal statement. It's hard to leave East High, where I've enjoyed the fine spirit and cooperation of the students, and those of the faculty have done so much to help. My fellow coaches have been a tremendous aid and inspiration. Coaching has been very kind to me, and I sincerely feel that this was made possible because of the many favorable factors found in the city of Waterloo. The Board of Education, the Superintendent of Schools, parents, fans, the press, radio, television, and the SOS Club, to mention a few, have been wonderful. Dad didn't want to set the world on fire, but he wanted to start a flame in every student's heart that he came in contact with. He lived from his heart, and he coached from his heart. Thank you.
Our next inductee is in player memorial with Leon Fike, who graduated in 1941. I appreciate Tom Thorson getting me a lot of the information during that time frames to fill in a lot of the blanks. So Tom, 1941, thank you. Leon graduated from East, where he was a 3-year letter winner in football while playing under the legendary East High football coach Leonard Raffensberger. He played alongside Ring of Honor players at that time, Roger Stevens and John Tidor. This was a time that I wasn't aware of, but as Tom filled me in, you know, back in that'd be like 39, 40 or something like that, they had spring football in high school. Now, how many of you ever knew that? East High School had spring football. And what they would do is they would have the seniors who graduated would come back and play the incoming football team at that time to prove themselves for the following season. And that's when Leon first made a name for himself in the spring game. And in the picture back there on the board, there's a picture of Leon getting the ball handed off to him at Vine Street Stadium in the spring football game. Upon graduation, Leon joined the workforce like so many did at that time for Raft Packing Company. When World War II broke out, Leon joined the service to fight for our country. You know, the story of the 5 Sullivan brothers in Waterloo is well documented and well chronicled, as it most deservingly should be. But Leon was one of 6 brothers who served in World War II. All 6 in his family was in World War II, following the footsteps of their father, who fought World War I. 5 of the Fike brothers returned home, with the exception of Leon, who was killed in action Christmas Day in Germany, 1944. His son, Ronnie, was a 2.5-year-old at the time. Leon was awarded the Combat Infantryman's Badge in addition to the Purple Heart. Now, what really resonated with the Ring of Honor committee was a letter that his parents received upon his death from his coach, Leonard Raffensberger. And as mentioned before, for those who don't know, but Leonard Raffensberger is one of East High's most successful and iconic coaches. He led East to numerous winning seasons, the first state championship team while coaching East High School, and then later went down, was a head coach at the University of Iowa. And this is the letter that he had sent. I just want to read a couple passages after the beginning that they send the condolences. But he says, "I have never known a boy among the hundreds that I have worked with who improved as much in attitude and spirit as Leon. Some of his teammates couldn't take it and they folded up and quit. That word wasn't in Leon's vocabulary, and he kept everlasting in there in spite of many disappointments and a lot of sharp criticism from the coach. Of all the boys I have ever known, Leon had the finest spirit and determination to bounce back and keep going to win after discouraging disappointments. In my book, that is the finest trait of a character a man can have. His picture is in a select file I keep for the best boys I have ever known. I will always remember Leon as a man who was ready to go all the way for those he liked. That's exactly what he did over there, and I will never forget it." Accepting on his behalf is his son, Ronnie, who as a 2.5-year-old survived the worst Christmas present a kid could ever receive. The East High Football Hall of Fame is proud to welcome into the Ring of Honor 2021 inductee, Leon Fike.
Congratulations, Leon. Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you. Charlie said it all. All I've got is we've got 4 generations of Fikes at East High, and I can't talk in front of people. Sorry. Good job.
That's funny, Ronnie, because when I see you down at the Eagles during the happy hour, you're not a little more talkative, but it's all right. We won't get into it. Now, let's meet our current players. Our first inductee is Danny Banks. Danny graduated from East in 1996, following the footsteps of his older brother, Chris, who was a very, very good running back for the Trojans. He gained all-Metro, all-conference accolades, but it was during his junior season that an interesting scenario developed that made a big difference in his athletic career. Danny was really, really interested in basketball, but he also liked football too, but maybe not to the level of basketball at that time. He was a starter his junior year, and he was making an impact on the defense. Somewhere either, was it the third, fourth game? Somewhere around there, after Friday night, on a weekend, following that Friday night game, Danny played in an AAU basketball tournament and promptly broke his ankle. And he'd be done for the remainder of the football season in all of basketball. When head coach Brian Jones heard the news, you can only imagine his reaction. How nice of you to help the basketball team during the off season. Great to see you're expanding your athletic talent in other sports, Danny. When's the next off-season tennis practice? Not really, if you know Coach Jones. With limited mobility in his foot, he decided to put the rest of his body to work and hit the weight room, and hit it he did. He put on extra weight, muscle to build his body up to be an intimidating player for East the following season, to where he was offered a full-ride football scholarship at UNI, following a long line of Trojans who excelled in football for the Panthers. Danny graduated in 2002 with a degree in sociology and criminology. He accepted the position of assistant strength and conditioning coach at UNI while also working in law enforcement on campus at UNI. He started his career in law enforcement, where he served as police officer and chief of police in Owine, Tripola, Sumner, before taking over as chief of police in Hudson, Iowa, where he lives with his wife and kids. During his law enforcement career, he still had a love for fitness and competitiveness in the weight room. He earned 4 appearances in Muscle Fitness magazine. You know, Billy, that's the one you got that you read all the time. With bodybuilding articles, Discovery Health Channel, videos, ads, and articles. He competed in fitness competitions on the Olympia stage in Las Vegas and was a 10-year sponsor athlete with Optimum Nutrition, where he traveled the world with the biggest names in the fitness industry. Danny's one of us that is wearing the polo tonight because for some reason he wore a different non-East High colored shirt tonight. So that wasn't gonna work. But anyway, with his fitness, I'm sorry to hear that because dang, I was gonna buy you some beverages afterwards, but I don't wanna mess with your fitness program. The East High Football Hall of Fame is proud to welcome into the Ring of Honor 2021 inductee, Danny Banks.
We'll start. Mr. Moses ended up calling my dispatch several months ago, and I get a call from my dispatcher to call him back. So when I was informed of this honor, I was in full uniform and I cried, and I told Mr. Moses that I was crying. It's an honor, especially to see some of the faces of people I play with. Jamel Rowe, Jeremy Jones, they're some of the biggest guys I've ever seen when I was in high school, so it's an honor. It's an honor to see some of the coaches, Coach DeBoer, Sheely. I hope I made you guys proud. As you know, I never probably talked back to you or anything like that, but I just hope I made you guys proud. I'm surprised that he brought up the story about Brian Jones. He was not that nice to me when, but you know, it's surprising. My freshman year, me and my best friend at the time, we quit football. It just wasn't for us, and Coach Johnson talked us to come back, and we did, and I'm glad we came back. But then, yes, I loved basketball more than football at the time. So yeah, I went to AAU tournament, broke my ankle, I come back, and I'm in a boot, and Coach Jones gonna be buying my shirt. Yeah, he was not nice, I understand. He advised, you know how many scholarships you can get for football versus basketball? And I didn't know. I just wanted to play sports. I wanted to follow my brother and make my parents proud. And here I am today. I've lived a blessed life. I'm living my best life. And I want to thank the coaches, players, Jamel Rowe, Jones, you guys are beasts, man. And you guys made me a better player. So I will talk your ear off, but there's so much in my head I want to say, but I'm just going to end with that. So thank you for letting me be a part of this class, and I hope I continue to make you guys proud. So thank you.
Do want to make a mention, got a couple dignitaries in the audience that we rarely see, so thank you again, Texas Roadhouse. We happen to have the superintendent of schools. Huff, I think, called her on his cell phone and said there's some good food, so she came down along with Kingsley Botchway. We're very happy to have downtown administration here. So thank you for supporting us. Appreciate that. Our next inductee is Brian Curran. Brian's family has deep East High roots, as his father Rick and his mom Jean are both East High graduates, along with his two sisters Natalie, who graduated in '98, and Jamie in '97, who are both outstanding multi-sport athletes at East High School. Brian started on the East 1998-99 season playing fullback, middle linebacker, and strong safety. He holds the record for the most tackles in a season with 126, including a personal 22 tackles in one game versus Cedar Falls. Now, to put that into perspective, we went back and looked at some old stats, and during the state championship years, the leading tacklers during those times were in 1969 with 62, in 1970 with 66, in 1971 with 65. Brian almost doubled that one season with 126. He was twice named All-Metro, All-Conference teams, along with honorable mention All-State. He was voted team MVP in addition to MVP Senior Player at East, awarded by the Downtown Rotary Club. Brian also wrestled, was a varsity starter for 4 years, where he was again All-Metro, All-Conference, as well as serving as co-captain on the team more than once. He was a 1999-2000 East Most Valuable Athlete, the Clyde Artists Award. Upon graduation, Brian attended Mesa Community College in Arizona for a year, then returned to Iowa to play fullback, football, and wrestle at Wartburg College, where he graduated in fitness management in 2005. He started coaching at Bourbonnais, Illinois, and in 3 years was the head wrestling coach, where his team was regional champions twice, had numerous state qualifiers, and place winners. Brian returned to the Waterloo Cedar Falls area and has been a youth sports coach and mentor in our area for over 10 years, working with traveling baseball teams, forming a wrestling club, coaching football at the various levels. He currently works at the Easton Technical Products in Dyke as a supply chain coordinator. Brian's comments upon learning about his inductions was this, quote, "I am proud to have been a Trojan. It made me the man I am today and has allowed me to help this generation of young men become better athletes and better people because of it. I am blessed to have had the opportunity to grow up on the east side of Waterloo and especially to be inducted into the Ring of Honor with some of the best players in Iowa high school history. The East High Football Hall of Fame is proud to welcome into the Ring of Honor 2021 inductee Brian Curran."
Well, Coach Aldridge, you kind of took a lot of my speech here. Well, I just want to thank everybody for coming. Family, friends, alumni, Ring of Honor members. I'm extremely and tremendously honored to be included in this group. There's so many players that have come through Waterloo East High and the rich tradition of Waterloo East High, and to be voted and nominated by my peers and those guys, it really makes that accomplishment so much better. You know, some of the things that we talk about is the mentoring. You know, though I'm not in the Waterloo district, and I get some flack from alumni and friends currently, that's all right. I am proud to be an East High Trojan. Like Coach said, that's what shaped me and the man I am now. It helps me develop these guys and girls and help them become better athletes, people, and just great people. Just some of the things I remember a little bit about East High football. Growing up over in Highland Park and playing, you know, smash mouth, no pad, no equipment, tackle football with the older guys, you had to hold your own. That's one thing that you learned, is you had to toughen up at an earlier age, and I think that really helped me out on the football field. I was never the biggest or the most talented, but I like to be around the ball and I like to hit. And I think that's what helped me a little bit in that my senior year of chasing down Jamel Rowe's tackle record and surpassing it. Coach Jones kind of let me know I was coming up on it about 5 or 6 games in, and it kind of pumped me up, and that competitive side came out, and I knew, you know, if I just do my job and my teammates help me, I know we could get it. That year we finished 5-4, just out of the playoffs, which was tough to swallow. But, you know, I was able to capture that single season tackle record, and that's something that I continue to be proud of every day. It's crazy to think of how many athletes come through this school, and you still have, you know, Brian Curran still has the tackle record. That's great, and I'm very appreciative to all the coaches, all of the members of the Ring of Honor, and these inductees this year. And I just want to say thank you one more time. I'm honored to be selected in East High's Ring of Honor, and I'm proud to be an East High Trojan. Thank you.
Our next inductee is Milan Moses. And we said our inductees had strong family ties to East and demonstrated great perseverance. Milan fits that to a T. He was a 3-year varsity starter and was team captain his junior and senior season. As a sophomore, Milan played quarterback and was selected to All-Metro, All-Conference. As a junior, he switched to wide receiver and once again was named All-Metro and All-Conference in All-State 1 year just after being selected for those same accolades as quarterback. His senior season, he wore a cast because of a broken wrist. Despite that, he set an East High School record for most receptions in a game, a single season, while playing with a cast, while the team's success was a little limited. He was voted team MVP and was selected to play in the esteemed Iowa All-Star Shrine Game and was also named the Bowls MVP. Milan was a 4-time varsity starter on the basketball team, again earning All-Metro, All-Conference, and helping to lead East to the 4A state championship in 2003. He was also a standout track athlete, participating in the high hurdles, 4x1 relay team, and high jump, where he finished second in the state in that event. During the off-season, in the summer, Milan would go to the Iowa State football camp, working to get better every season. His talent, work ethic, and energy was on display, and it impressed head football coach Dan McCartney to offer Milan a full-ride scholarship at Iowa State. At Iowa State, he was a 4-time letter winner. Unfortunately, in his sophomore season, he was diagnosed with Crohn's disease, which took him out of commission for an extended period of time. With a great attitude, great family support, and a great desire to return to the football team, Milan built his strength, body, and speed back up to where he returned to the football squad. As a junior, he led the Cyclones in all-purpose yards. He was named offensive MVP versus Kansas, Kansas State, and Missouri, along with special teams MVP versus Texas Tech and Kansas State. While at Iowa State, he played in 2 postseason bowls for the Cyclones. He graduated with over a 3-point GPA and has a degree in communications. He currently works as a territorial manager for the Applied Medical Company, selling medical devices. He's living in Des Moines with his wife, 2 girls, and they're expecting a baby girl, 2 boys, Shirley. Living with his 2 boys and are expecting a baby girl in December. Milan's dad was Jerry Moses, and together they are the 7th father-son combination to be inducted into the Ring of Honor, following the footsteps of Lance and John Dunn, Sean and Mike Hewitt, Brenton Shavers and Manny Holmes, Paul Owen, Brian Jones, and Larry Jones, Tarek and Tony Stevens, Travis and Tom Thorson. Along with his older brother, JJ, they join 11 other Ring of Honor sets of brothers inducted into this special group of players. Now, that's a happy story. The sad story is Milan had called today with COVID symptoms, and he was so sick he couldn't even get out of bed. And I really feel bad because talking to him on the phone, he was so excited to be being a part of this and wanted to be here so bad. So accepting is his uncle, Tim Moses, and the East High Hall of Fame is proud to welcome into the Ring of Honor 2021 inductee, Milan Moses.
Thank you, Mr. Seeley. Thank you.
I'm really sorry about that.
Thank you. Thank you. Milan he just texted me not long ago, and he's truly sorry that he couldn't be here. Milan was very excited about this honor, and you know, it's unfortunate that COVID is real and he can't be here tonight. So on behalf of his mom and his brothers and my brother Neil, we would just like to say thank you, and we appreciate the honor. Thank you.
Okay, moving right along. Our next inductee is Trice Scott. Trice was a 2-year starter at East at tailback, linebacker, and defensive back. He was named All-Metro twice and first team All-Mississippi Valley Conference. He was also chosen to play in the prestigious All-Star Shrine Game in 2008. Trice was an electric, exciting, game-changing offensive weapon. He was named to Watch These Preps in the paper, and the quote from the Courier sports page says it all. Quote, "It's worth the price of admission just to watch Trojan tailback Trice Scott run the football. He just had 3 consecutive games of rushing for more than 200 yards a game for a 9.5 yard per carry average." Trice shined the brightest when his team absolutely needed him the most. As a senior, he scored the go-ahead touchdown as time was running out in the fourth quarter to give East a crucial conference win over Jefferson and Cedar Rapids. As a junior, he caught an 82-yard pass from Eli Ackles with 1 minute and 47 seconds left in the game. The Courier writer wrote of the play, quote, "He made a leaping catch, spun out of one attempted tackler, sprinted up the east sideline. One defender had an angle on him, but Scott shoved him aside and raced into the end zone." That TD erased a 6-3 deficit to give East a 9-6 lead, which they held on to. That victory was in 2006, and it broke a 5-year, 60-game losing streak for East. Interesting, in that game, the Trojans, we hadn't completed a pass the whole game. We had 82 yards to go, we hadn't even completed a pass. We talk about resiliency and never giving up. I tell you, he did it. I've lived in Waterloo area for all but 2 years of my life, and I have never, ever enjoyed reading the Courier sports page like I did the next day. And there's a picture of Trice in the locker room, excited with his teammates. It says, "Winning smiles, late touchdown dramatically snaps East, 60-game skid." You know, and a lot of people think it was kind of lucky, but as Trice will tell you, 2 weeks before we played Cedar Rapids Jefferson, and we ran that same play about 3 times. Scored 2 touchdowns, got another 50-yarder, and so when the call came up, he didn't sweat, he just went right in and did the job. Trice was also a standout basketball player, helping East achieve success on the hardwood floor. Success ran in his family. His 2 brothers also excelled in basketball at East. His parents are East High graduates and had outstanding athletic careers. Tyrone on the basketball court, and Stacy, his mom, on the girls' track in the sprints. And Trice, and now I know where you got that speed from, because it sure wasn't from Tyrone. After graduating, Trice attended Ellsworth Junior College to play football, then transferred to Kirkwood Community College to play basketball. Family ties brought him back to Waterloo for the birth of his son. He became a local promoter for events, concerts, and corporate parties. After many years of promoting other venues, he now runs his own venue in his nightclub, the Club Legacy in Waterloo. The East High Hall of Fame is proud to welcome into the Ring of Honor 2021 inductee Trice Scott. Good job.
First and foremost, I want to thank God, because without him, I wouldn't be here. Second, I want to thank everybody that came out. I want to thank everybody who was honored before us. Man, I'm just very blessed, man, honored, man. You guys just don't know, man. I've been waiting a long time for this, man. This complete everything for me for football I've done at East High. Go Trojans.
Trice always was a man of many words. Rounding out our distinguished panel of inductees is Cole Van Way. And this is as good a success story as you're going to hear, and a testament to his perseverance to attain the success that he deserved. Cole, as you can see by his baby face up here, he is our most recent Ring of Honor member as he graduated from East in 2016. He was a 3-year starter, beginning at offensive line and moving to defensive end his senior season, where he was first team All-Metro. He went to Iowa Central Community College in Fort Dodge to play baseball. After his freshman season in baseball, Cole had the itch to return to football, which he did the following year and played very, very well despite Iowa Central's poor one-loss record. Cole was determined to continue playing football despite his high school and junior college's losing record, and he had to wonder if there's any interest in him at all at the next level. Cole took it upon himself to make a highlight video of him at Iowa Central and at East, and he sent it out to all the film. He sent the film out to all the schools across the Midwest, just trying to gauge any interest for him to at least get a chance to play, to perform. Eventually, Kansas Wesleyan University in Salina, Kansas, liked what they saw and offered him a football scholarship. During the spring football practice on media day, he proposed to his girlfriend, and they got married, and he started his football career as a married man in Kansas. Now, after going 0-27 in high school, 1-10 in junior college football, he finished his career at Kansas Wesleyan with a 25-win, 2-loss record. They won 2 KCAC conference titles, an NAIA national semifinals and quarterfinals berth, with Cole being the standout lineman on their championship defense. After graduating college, he accepted a graduate assistant's football position because he continued to love football at Midland University in Fremont, Nebraska. He then moved to Omaha and now works at Fidelity Canine Kennel, working and training dogs. Cole's comments upon hearing of this honor said, quote, "East High School was the beginning of all of this. Being a Trojan during losing seasons, coaching change after coaching change, and plenty of adversity has molded me into an independent, hardworking man. You cannot always control what your teammates, friends, or coworkers do, but you can always control what you do," unquote. East High Football Hall of Fame, proud to welcome into the Ring of Honor 2021 inductee, Cole Van Way.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. All right, I'll try to keep this short and sweet. I want to start off by thanking Charlie and Gabe for giving me the opportunity to forever be a part of East High football. Also want to thank my dad for taking me to all the liftings and practices and just being the best friend and biggest supporter that a kid could have during that time, and for letting me know that my relationship with God is going to take me pretty far in life, even through the struggles and whatever you come to face. Mom, I know you never quite understood what was happening on the field at all times, but you were there. You watched firsthand the struggles, the injuries, and of course the mass amounts of food I had to eat. You were and still are everything I needed, the warm hug and the comforting talks when I needed to take a breath. Callie, you are bound for something special, and I'm so glad you're able to watch me grow as a brother, an athlete, a husband, and now a father. You'll always be my little sister, but I'll always learn how to be just a little bit more kind like you. My time at East High was filled with memories, like going 0-27 during my varsity career. I got the varsity nod my sophomore year, played on an interior offensive line. My junior year, they popped me out to tackle. During both those years, I was probably between 5'10", 6 foot, and a nice 210 pounds of baby fat. I fell in love with the weight room that summer before my senior year. Got some muscle on me and decided I should move over to defense to hit some people. I played both middle linebacker and defensive end that year. Played well enough to coaches and players telling me to pursue a scholarship to play at the next level. But at that time, I was already committed to Iowa Central to play baseball. During my time at Iowa Central, I met my wife and only played a single fall of baseball. I had a lot of anger built up that could not be let out. The thousands of cuts at night off a hitting tee became more work and less about passion. I remember watching a Monday night football game between the Bears and the Vikings, and I just missed football. Missed the violence, missed the pain, missed the team connection. Decided to walk on to the team at Iowa Central. We won a whopping 1-10, and most of my playing time came from JV games because I was stuck behind an All-American. At the conclusion of that season, I contemplated just going to a big four-year school, being a student, and just be a big football fan, because losing sucks. There's times when you hit somebody or make a tackle and get a green film over your eyes, or you hit someone and the lights go out and you just see a couple shooting stars, and none of that's really fun when you're 1-37 during your football career. I put together my own highlight tape, thought, what the hell, it's kind of fun emailing coaches and being wanted. So I emailed schools like Alabama, Morgan State, Iowa, Iowa State, and just about every NAIA D2 and D3 school in the Midwest. I got the most love from Kansas Wesleyan University in Salina, Kansas, from head coach Matt Drinkall, who now coaches at Army West Point. When I told my parents, they weren't exactly thrilled about the 8-hour drive from here to Salina, especially when they thought the hour-and-a-half drive to Fort Dodge was a little too far. I committed to Kansas Wesleyan, played rush end my junior year, and played defensive tackle my senior year. In my junior year, we finished 11-0, a deep playoff run before getting beat in the national semifinals. We finished as conference champs and ranked number 4 in the nation. Senior year, we were convinced we were championship bound. After a second straight conference title and another perfect season, we were upset in the quarterfinals and finished 6th in the nation. I finished my collegiate career 25-2 in the regular season and playoffs, got 2 conference championship rings, and got married along the way. What made my time at K-Dub so special was having my wife head a film crew, so she was at every practice, every game, and she felt every high and every low, every great win and every tough playoff loss, and I'm forever grateful for her being there. My post-college life led me to be a graduate assistant coaching position at Midland University in Fremont, Nebraska. I coached the fullbacks and was video and editing coordinator. My mental health took a big spiral and realized that it wasn't a great fit being part of the current coaching staff, so at the conclusion of the season, I walked away. I've experienced training reactive and aggressive dogs where we reside now in Omaha, Nebraska at Fidelity Canine. And my wife and I have a successful Amway business that's on track to let us both, Michaela and I, stay home in the future. And on June 22nd of this year, our little boy, Cohen Hallis Vanway, was born. And I'm just so happy to see him sit in the exact same spot that I was just over 5 years ago. Thank you again for this great honor.
All right, this is record time. In conclusion, we have a few housekeeping items to wrap up. 2021 inductees, when we get done, if you could stand right here, hold your plaques up. We're going to take a picture. Ring of Honor members, come back behind that like we've done in the past. Get the picture taken, get it submitted to the celebration section of the Courier for people to see. Another item note is there is some flyers back there on the table for the 50th reunion of the biggest football game played in Waterloo between East and West High School in 1970 in Waterloo. The event will take place Wednesday, November 3rd in the evening at the American Legion. And for more information or details, contact me or any Ring of Honor member or coach from 1970 or 71. Anyone interested in purchasing the brick for the brick walkway that's right outside front there, there's information sheets back there, or you can get a hold of Tim Moses. Now don't forget our post-ceremony gathering at the American Legion. Everyone here is welcome, is invited to continue this celebration. A couple pops for you though. The directions, you just go right over 5th Street, turn left on Commercial, and you'll see it right on the corner. Now, let's finish off the night with the best note available with our East High fight song. Let's bring up the Bruce Springsteen of East High School, Mike Shealy, and friends to end this night on a great note. Hey, and don't worry, don't worry if you sing off key, because you will fit right in. Da 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 da.
Cheer, cheer for East Waterloo. Wake up the echoes cheering for you. Send the volley cheer on high. Shake down the thunder from the sky. What though the odds be great or small, East Waterloo will win overall. While her loyal friends are marching onward to victory. E-N-S-T-H-I-G-H. Ho! Hey!
I am East High.
I am a Trojan.
For Milan Moses and Tim Moses, we are Orange and Black.
I'm a Trojan. My granddaughters are Trojans. My mother was a Trojan. We got 4 generations of Trojans.
I am East High.
I am Orange and Black.
I am East High. Go Trojans.
I am a Trojan.
I am a Trojan, I am East High, and I'm Orange and Black.